Yeah, because I was looking for like commenter sections and stuff, so people chatting in it, and
Why? Oh,
I
I
was like,
don't care about
hope
tweet.
this is working.
Good, Dan.
We're on. What is going on, Nissan Nation? How's it going out there? Minor technical difficulties caught me off guard here. We are here with some new crew, some Nissan people that I had the pleasure of meeting just recently. A lot of the Nissan people we bring on the show that we know I haven't met, or I have met on a few times, and these are a couple that I accidentally ran into, but fate was pulling us together. We have Enoch and Delia, or Demo, as we like to call her, from Mo Leisure X Ventures, which is a cool name because Mo and Leisure are both of your last names, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. So, and then you have the Xterra, and you're on an adventure. It's the perfect name. I love because all the pictures you post on Instagram and whatnot are of like a beautiful leisure adventure.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah, if you want to find them real quick, if you want to find them on Instagram while we're chatting and whatnot, it's Mo Leisure X Ventures. So check them out there. But yeah, so I guess I kind of introduce you. This is Enoch and Demo. They are on an extreme, we'll call it overland slash camping slash life altering adventure. You guys are really doing it right. Why don't you kind of explain what you're doing right now, and about how far into this wild adventure that you're at in?
You want me
Yeah.
to go?
Go ahead.
Okay. So we live on the road full time. We're currently in Texas though, taking a little break, but we started this trip in November of 2019, and our main goal for the trip is to visit all the national parks in the U.S. And so far we've gone to 46 out of 63 parks. So we've
Wild, wild.
put
That's
some.
freaking, which is amazing because like really like November to now, that's not a huge span of time in the grand scheme of things to like visit that many. That's a lot. How many miles do you have on this trip? Have you been calculating?
So I have driven about 60,000 miles in the year, 3 months that we've been on the road.
Jeez, that's amazing. So
Yeah, we have not slowed down. This is actually the first breaks we've taken.
Yeah.
yeah, and I met you maybe a month ago, and right after I met you, I started following you on Instagram, and then I realized like really like because when we met, I didn't quite grasp like what your whole thing was, and then we met again. We'll go into that in a minute, but I didn't realize you were doing such a big, extravagant. I mean, like what you were doing,
Right.
straight just
It's like a
going
lot of
for it.
people, there's a lot of people that go to all the national parks, but how many people do you know did it all in one go?
Yeah,
And
no,
that's
for real.
like really hitting it hard.
Yeah, I'm taking the like 30-year route.
Right. Like one a year, like most people, 1, 2 a year, you're good.
Yeah, and for those of you watching right now, that was Dave in charge of the production. He's in the background doing production for us. So if you see problems with production, we're gonna blame Dave.
Selling me out so quick, guys. Listen to that.
Yeah, Dave's in the background on this one, helping me with tech since Dave is the master of tech, and now it's my job to do everything. And I don't know how to do anything. So Dave's standing in on tech, and I'm gonna slowly bring myself up to speed on the tech side, so that because Dave's not gonna be around for all these, I'm gonna have to do them myself, which is a daunting task. Really, it's a lot of work, and I never give Dave enough props. But so anyways, so we met at the Olaf, the King of the Hammers Olaf event, which is Overland Adventure Festivus, I believe was the acronym.
Yeah,
What was
Overland
telling me
Adventure
Overland
Festivus.
as fuck. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
no, that you're good. That's what I thought it was, and then they're like, oh no, it's the Adventure Festivus. I'm like, okay, sure. But yeah, we
That's
went to King. Yeah, we went to King of the Hammers, and well, I was out there with a bunch of my buddies. I didn't know that you guys were going as well, and it's separated from main Hammer Town, and Overland isn't exactly what you um contribute or what you would pair with King of the Hammers. So
yeah,
we go
definitely
out there,
not.
and there's shift pods set up everywhere, and I see your Xterra. We ended up getting to talking. Turns out we were going to be on the same rogue trip like 2 weeks later after that, which was so obviously destiny brought us together there. We didn't spend a ton of time together there, but we were able to share a campfire and whatnot.
Mhm.
But um, at that time, I didn't know you were doing this big adventure. And then we went on the Rogue Overland trip. And the wild thing to me was after the King of the Hammers trip, I started following you, and I know that the Rogue trip is coming up in 2 weeks, and I see you guys down in Mexico. I was like, "What are these guys doing?" And that's when I realized I think you had a post in one of your Instagram posts about
Yeah.
we're like doing all this traveling, and I'm like, "Wow, these guys are all the way at the tip of Baja, and they're going to be at the Rogue trip in whatever another week." Um,
Right. Right.
so first off, how was Mexico? And kind of some of the places you stopped in Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, we started obviously we went through Mexicali is where we
Mhm.
crossed over.
Hmm.
No issues, right through, um, and we spent like pretty much the entire 2 weeks, and it was like real close logistics trying to get all
It
the way
was
down to
it was quick.
Cabo to the
Yeah.
national down there, and then all the way back up. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, you
When we-
guys beat feet kind of to come back up because you went down and you're like, all right, we got X amount of days to get back to Arizona.
To get back,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah, with
I
Deer
mean,
Negro.
we yeah, I mean some of the highlights of this 2 week super fast paced Baja trip. We got to go on a gray whale tour in Guerrero Negro, which is on the west side,
Yeah,
right, of the
on the west
peninsula,
side, in the
and which was
lagoons,
in the
yeah.
lagoons because it's mating season for the whales right now. Until
Oh, right on. Yeah,
and
so they're
so
they're like right up close.
congregate in the lagoons
Yeah.
because it's a safe space,
Yeah.
and they just brought us out, and the whales. Someone described it as a whale soup.
Yeah.
They were just
They're just
all around.
everywhere, just churning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Nice.
we were both able to touch one, which was like one of the best
Yeah. It
experiences
like
of my
it
life.
came up to the boat with his nose out and then
Oh,
like
no way.
Yeah.
while we're touching it, and we're just like, yeah, keep petting me, please.
Yeah, and you guys have a bunch of pictures, I think, on your Instagram. I'm gonna drop
Yes, we
that
do.
Instagram on the chats real quick. MOL, yeah, Moleisure Xventures. There we go. I think I did it. Yeah, I got the S in there. Yeah, if you guys want to go check out their Instagram, do that for sure. They have so many different amazing pictures, and I'm sure this like we probably wouldn't have enough time in this one show because I talked to you in length around the fire on the Rogue Overland trip,
Yeah.
and I think we barely touched on maybe half the trip or something like that before.
Mostly about maybe logistics
Yeah,
and
yeah. But I mean
how
yeah,
it
the
works.
amount of time that we could spend talking about each national park and all that stuff. We would be here for a couple
Each one
days, I'm
was
sure.
going
Yeah. But let's talk real quick about kind of you guys. You want to kind of just expound a little bit on how and why you kind of decided to just pick up and go. Just quickly, kind of give us the quick and dirty on how this happened.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of talk about some of the places you've been.
Okay. Yeah. For me to start out, I had some life changes. I had a really bad car accident that I
Right.
barely survived. And, like anything else, a situation like that kind of changes your perspective on the immediate now and where you see your life going in the future.
Right.
So at that point, I kind of made a decision that I wanted to live life a little bit more to the fullest.
Right.
And I moved out to California for a bit. And that's where I met her. Was when I was out in California. I'd been there for about 6 months, and
Real quick.
a hiking group.
Real quick. How long have you guys been together? Well, two-part question. So, how long have you guys been together, and how long between when you guys kind of started like, hey, you know what, let's do this, and then you like left on this extravagant trip?
I knew her. I met her in May. I want to say May, April.
Yeah, around there.
End of April, beginning of May, 2019.
Gotcha.
And we
Wow.
started this trip in November.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, so,
that's
from when I met her, I went up to Alaska by myself, and she flew up, and we went to Denali, and that's when we decided that we wanted to just continue. Like, I want to see all the national parks, And
so was this like a pitch you did to her, like, hey, I got this crazy idea, or was it like you guys were like, oh, you know what'd be cool, let's just go out and like live and
it was
travel?
Actually, I think I pitched you more so because I knew he was already a nomad. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. I'm a straight city girl. We met in the Bay Area of California, and we met in a hiking group. Like I love doing things outdoors, but I had never
gone camping before.
Yeah, gone camping or done like a long-term trip where I just stayed outdoors. And so I always dreamed about wanting to do a long-term trip instead of, all of my short trips from taking vacation from work. And so he told me about his nomadic lifestyle, and I was like, I want that. I want to do that too. So when I went up to visit him in Alaska, which I had never been to Alaska, so I went up for like a week,
Yeah,
4 or
10
5
days.
days. Oh,
Oh, that was
no,
like
it was like
10.
a long weekend.
Look at
Yeah,
you guys, so cute.
I was driving. We basically did the whole loop.
Yeah, and that was the first time I went camping, and I really liked it. Like, we were by ourselves, one with nature. There was nobody else around, and I was like, let's keep doing this.
Nice.
So I came back down to California. She had to finish up her lease on her apartment, and so I came back down, worked for a couple more months, saving up money, and then I built out the Xterra. At that time, we really didn't do much. I lifted it an inch and a half, put Bilstein 5100s on it, and put a rooftop on there, and I built out a kitchen with a little galley and stuff.
Right on. Sweet. And so from there, it was kind of game on.
Yeah, from there, like as soon as her lease ran up, it was like
we had to get out of there.
We loaded up the car. we had we call it the big booty. We had the cargo container back, like way more stuff than we would ever need or use.
Right.
And within 6 months, it was all gone.
Right. He pared it down quickly.
Yeah.
Nice. So So you guys started on the West Coast,
Yes.
and then you kind of meandered all over the place, right? Like,
Yeah, so we kind of did like following the seasons. We like
Mhm.
corkscrewed our way through the United States. So we started up here in the Bay Area. We came down to the south through Arizona, Nevada, and then cut over New Mexico into Texas. Did all those national parks, and then went up to Arkansas, cut over to Florida, and then up the East Coast to Maine, and then across the north all the way to over to the Northwest, and then back down, and then kind of working our way through the center when
gotcha.
winter hit again this year. So then we kind of
Yeah.
put things on hold for Colorado are the last 4 national parks we have in the 48.
Nice. That's amazing. Which so yeah, you have 16 left,
Mhm.
and 4 are in Colorado.
Yeah, and then
Nice.
there's 8 in Alaska,
Yeah.
and then there's 2 in Hawaii,
2 and
1 in Samoa, and 1 in the
Virgin
Virgin
Islands.
Islands.
So you guys are doing like literally like doing even the
Yeah,
like every single one. Yeah, I guess I like it's not something I think about when I think about all, oh, I'm gonna hit all the national parks or whatever. But yeah,
yeah,
there are some on islands.
yeah, absolutely. A lot of people like to joke. It's like, oh, how are you gonna get Yogi there? Which is what we call the Xterra,
Mhm.
and it's like, well, unfortunately, we can't take Yogi on every
Yeah,
trip.
Mhm.
yeah, for sure,
But,
for sure.
I think all of them but 4 is pretty good.
Yeah, no kidding. Um, so the truck has kind of evolved over the time, like you kind of mentioned earlier. You got rid of a lot of stuff, built out a galley, but you've also added a trailer at some point in time during that trip. How long before you added the trailer?
It was 8 months into the trip before we added the trailer,
Yeah.
and it was
Nice,
really one of those like just it appeared, it was the right price point, and they had it right when we showed up, and it was kind of like, okay, let's do this.
nice,
So
nice.
it kind of changed the way we do traveling. We were coming up on Utah, Colorado as far as the trip was going, and the vehicle was just too weighed down for
Yeah,
Moab. It was too weighed down for any of the Rockies. Like
right.
we did one off-road trip in like pretty, I would consider like a 6 or a 7
Hmm.
on in Washington with
Hmm.
all the load, and it was it
Oh,
was
it was
it was
rough.
pretty
It
rough.
was
So
rough.
Yeah,
at that point's when we started really looking for trailers, knowing that when we got to those regions, we really
Yeah.
wanted to do like serious off-roading. And
nice.
so getting that trailer, offering up that base camp scenario,
Mhm.
it really made it a lot easier to explore some of the more remote regions.
Cool, very cool. Yeah, that I'm sure that helps a lot, especially just like having it's a little bit easier to organize sometimes when you have a little bit more space.
Yeah,
Whether and being able to have stuff that you never get to, and then the stuff that you can, it's the having the extra space. I'm sure, especially since you're living out of it basically most of the time, was probably kind of a game changer for you, right?
yeah, it was a big game changer. It allowed us to get a dog,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
That was a
that was
Yeah,
victory.
if you
that
guys
was
are curious, you see it. Your hands are like right out of the camera, and so they're not actually stroking one another. They're petting their dog. Just so you guys in TV land or YouTube land, are if you were concerned,
you can see her. There we
there she is. She's a cutie. She's a sweetie.
go.
99% of the time.
Right.
Um,
Inviting you, she's great.
Yeah. Um, so of all the national parks, what are your like top 5, top 10 maybe that you visited that you're like, oh, that's the one.
So number one for both of us is Big
Big
Bend,
Bend and
Texas.
Texas.
Gotcha.
Like that one is just for just the one park in its
Mhm.
own. It's remote from anything else. It's just phenomenal. It has everything that I could probably want at a national park at least. Like as
Yeah.
far as activities, you've got a river, you've got the mountains, the Chiso Basin, you have the desert plains. I mean, we literally were like out hiking and driving, doing off-roading one day, and it was 75 degrees, and the next day we had a foot of snow. That was over
Wild.
3 years.
Wild. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
like it's just an
Yeah.
amazing environment, and it's goes all over the place. That's like number one for us. And then for me, my other top basically four would be Southern Utah. I
Yeah.
mean, you could
Yeah.
just Zion, Price, Capitol Reef,
Yeah.
Canyonlands, Arches, like just that whole entire Southern Utah region is just
Yeah,
phenomenal.
there's so much out there. I've been out there, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, and I still, there's still just like, oh, there's 10, 15 trails that I never got to.
Oh yeah,
Did you guys hike the Narrows when you're out there?
It was closed because the river
Oh,
had
that's right.
algae.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
So
stinks.
I mean, we're gonna have to go back to the Utah parks because
Yeah.
a lot of it was closed. Like Angel's Landing was closed, so we didn't
Oh,
like that.
that's one of those that's kind of what I was in my mind when I was saying there's like all these different Angel's Landing is like my number one like next time I'm out there I have to hike Angel's Landing. It's such an epic hike, and then I see people hiking and I'm like, why have I not taken this hike? I've been to Zion a few times, but
So a great camping spot for Zion is Smithsonian Butte.
Oh yeah.
okay.
Like beautiful,
Is it
beautiful spot, and you're only 15 minutes away from Zion.
nice?
Free,
Is
you
it
know.
what kind of, is it like Forest Service, or is it like a campground, or
It's BLM. It's
Yeah.
so Forest Service.
nice? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
BLM's great
road
for
all through there, and you can get yourself in trouble pretty quick, but
nice.
it's really nice.
Recovery
Speak
guy.
Oh, mass recovery.
He calls it Crybaby Hill.
Yeah.
nice.
People get
Uh,
stuck there.
yeah. Speaking of getting stuck, have you ever gotten into some trouble on your travels? Have you got stuck? Have you got stranded places for gas or anything like that, or have you been pretty smooth?
I've I've been super super lucky on that front. We've put ourselves in a couple of situations that were definitely too close. We did Mangle Pass when we were basically stuck
In Death Valley.
in Death Valley. We had
Ooh.
highway tires.
Yeah, I've been through there. I've been through there a few times.
It was not a smart trail. But yeah, we did that one. That was pretty close. We got caught up between some boulders, and I had to pop the clutch to get us to do
Yeah.
a little jump, you know.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
We
and
lost our
then
side steps.
yeah,
on that
we lost
trail.
our sights, which in turn got me rock sliders.
Yeah, exactly right.
Evolution of Yogi.
Upgrade as you break.
Exactly. That's why we end up getting the Asper aluminum skid plates.
Nice. Yeah.
Because we're hitting those rocks, and I was just like, I am not going to have a transmission after this.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, those are definitely a must if you're going to be doing it, especially if you're in like rock gardens and stuff like that. Those things just pop up and start tearing things off. So that's a big deal to have that. So gives you peace of mind when you just hear all that scraping and grinding.
The rock garden that we went through on the Rogue Overland trip.
Oh,
we had just gotten our new wheels like 2 days ago. And
that's right.
Scratched.
Okay, one got scratched, one got gouged.
Oh yeah. Oh,
like,
I'm sure
the rock hit it and was like, no, a little bit deeper.
Yeah. Believe me, I feel your pain because my truck was like spotless, and I'm gonna do a video on it on my other channel, just like the aftermath of a road trip. The aftermath of a road trip in Arizona, because the first time I went on one with them in Arizona, my truck was pretty pristine, and we went through this trail, and it just overgrown, and it just destroyed my paint. I never really recovered. And then I crashed it recently and then rebuilt it with new fenders. It got resprayed, and I was like, all right, I'm back to fresh truck. And then, sure enough, road trip in Arizona. I mean, I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't, just bite your teeth and grind through it.
Right.
But speaking of the road trip, how did you guys enjoy the road trip? I mean, that was obviously your first trip with the road guys.
Yes, I liked
fun.
it. I liked it a lot. Again, anytime you can get into, for us at least, being on the road and isolated as much as we are, it's really nice to get into a group of, like-minded people that are
right.
If maybe not doing the exact same thing we're doing, but they understand the baseline of what we do.
Yeah.
And it really makes for some really good conversations and good connections, like like meeting you out
Yeah,
there.
obviously, right? Number one here. Hey,
Number one,
now I'm making you
that
YouTube
groove.
famous. Do you guys do anything on YouTube?
No, not really. I've like tried to make some videos. It's a very tedious task, and I just can't focus on the computer for that long of a period of time.
Gotcha. No,
Like
believe me,
We
I
do
I
have,
understand.
a YouTube page.
yeah, we have a
and
YouTube
we have
page,
like
and
6 videos on
I'm
it.
gonna
Nice.
try to make some videos while we're stagnant here in Texas. I don't know. The last time I tried to make a video, I think it took me an hour to edit like 30 seconds.
Nice. You know, what I find easiest for me is that I don't really worry too much about the editing, and which is also why my videos are crap. But as long as I just get the main gist of it and slap it together and put it on, some people like it. So take that for what it's worth.
Fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
So what well, real quick before we go any further, I just wanted to say shout out to all of you guys listening right now. We got Kevin Lee, Ulysses Gomez, we got Frank B in the house, Smitty Garage. Thanks for logging in here, guys, and checking us out while we're doing this live. Smash the like button if you're watching this. Goes a long way into helping us rank and people seeing all of the sweet shows. Um, Also, if you want a link to their YouTube, which is going to be popping pretty soon because of the sick suggestions I just made, we just dropped that in the chat as well.
It's
So
gonna be the best YouTube.
it's going to be the best.
Yeah.
So from Texas, you're kind of downtime right now in Texas, sleeping in regular beds. What's the next portion of the trip?
So
Colorado.
Colorado will be the next 4. We're talking about maybe going into Moab, hanging out in Moab for a little bit.
Gotcha.
They got some stuff going on over through
yeah,
May.
the Gone Moab. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're thinking about doing the Gone Moab, and then we also got invited to the Jeep Safari. But
Nice.
it's a Jeep Safari.
Yeah, it's Jeep, guys.
There. So I don't know about that one.
I hear you. Right.
But yeah,
That's
all the Colorado
awesome.
National Parks will be next, and then kind of waiting to see if we can get across the Canadian border or not, so we can get up to Alaska.
Yeah, that's true. Huh? The borders might be interesting.
And once we get a vaccination, they'll let us through.
Yeah. What are the national parks in Colorado? I've been to Colorado quite a few times, and I've been to I can't even remember now. But like I know me and Dave took a road trip up to Telluride, Black Bear Pass, and all that. That was a super just mind-blowing epic area to go. But I don't think that's in a national park. I mean,
No, that's all
national forest stuff, right?
Yeah, that's all national forest.
Yeah.
So national parks that they have 3 of them are basically in southern Colorado. So it's Mesa Verde, which is by Durango.
Oh, yes. Oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
I went there 2 years ago. That place is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Great Sand Dunes.
Yes. Oh, that's right. I went there. Yeah.
Black Canyon Gunnison.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? A good friend of the show was a park ranger out there for a very long time, and he was always sending me pictures of just some of the. I mean, that's a big deep park. Like you can go so deep into that park, and I guess they do a lot of rescues in there and stuff like that.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. Just like and then the last one's the Rockies.
Yeah. Roger that. Cool. Feel free to have some beverage if you're hurting for a beer. Let's see here. Mikey said they're talking like Canada going to be closed until sometime 2020. That would suck.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So if that is the case, I think we'll probably end up having to do all the islands because
Yeah,
obviously we can fly to those.
yeah,
So we can hit all the islands and then hope that they allow us through
yeah,
then.
for
Because
sure.
definitely don't want to fly to Alaska. Like,
Yeah, yeah, you like, and there's a lot of good fun you can have with the vehicle out there for sure.
right?
But you only have like a window in Alaska too, right? So you want to go up there, get up there in the summer as soon as you can.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. As soon as the thaw starts to happen in spring,
Yeah, yeah, you got to head up and
yeah, you're gonna accomplish all of the national parks.
yeah,
And
get in and get out before it starts snowing again. I'm sure,
exactly.
for
Yeah,
sure.
you're lucky if you make it into October before you could get stuck in some of these spots.
Yeah, for sure. So, have you guys planned past the end of this adventure?
So we
Oh,
have,
he has plans.
I have plans.
Nice.
I want to do just like this adventure. I want to do the Pan Am Highway all in one go. You know,
Nice.
I've seen a lot of people. They'll do, they've done the Pan Am Highway, but in reality, they did, this section in 2018, and this section in
Yeah,
20
right.
in this section, and then they say they've done the whole thing. So I want to see it. Is it possible? I mean, I imagine people have done it
Yeah,
in one
for
go.
sure.
So like I haven't seen it in the modern time anyways in the last 10 years or so. So maybe I'll
Right.
do a little documentary on it and see how it goes.
That would be super rad. And my, sorry for the lack of knowledge, but from my understanding, Pan Am is from the tip of South America all the way up. Is
Yeah,
that
so we're gonna start in Alaska. So Prudhoe
yeah.
Bay,
Yeah.
Alaska, is the highest point you can drive,
Right.
and then all the way down to Patagonia, Argentina.
Yeah. 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 I think who was it? Oh man, there was a special. I think it was called like the same guys that did the long way down and long way around. Victor and his buddy. Oh, somebody jump in. Dave, do you know? You're supposed to be the guy on the in the background that knows everything when I ask a question.
Well, the ex Overland guys did the whole thing.
Oh, they did that too. Yeah, yeah. But I was thinking of somebody that did it on motorcycle, electric
Oh,
motorcycle. Those.
our buddy Derek did the the trail from my house here in Middle Tennessee all the way to Alaska. What was that one? The oh gosh, the AT, whatever they call it, the
Yeah,
American. Oh gosh,
transcontinental
yeah,
trail or something.
yeah.
Right on. Anyways, my memory's always trash, but let's see here. Just real quick, if anybody has any questions for these guys, feel free to throw them in, and I'll ask them. I don't want to take up all of their night, because we could chat all night, but then it gets into pee pee breaks and I'm drinking beer. So, but
You're
Yeah.
only gonna make it like another 20 minutes at most.
yeah, for sure. How many miles are on the X?
Mm,
195,000 miles,
but
Nice.
he got it with.
and I got it with 130,000.
Gotcha, gotcha. So it's seen half of its life, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't realize
yeah,
that.
it's about to break too.
It's about to
So
break.
so no break,
No,
no break, no
not
break.
breaking. No, no.
I'm knocking on wood for you.
Hopefully, for the Pan Am Highway, we'll probably look for a little bit of different style setup,
Yeah.
more all in one unit, more enclosed,
Gotcha.
maybe
Yeah.
a camper top on a truck style setup.
Right. Right.
Still want to stick with the mid-size though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, after going through that little trail, I I definitely was like, I was thinking because I was gonna on the road trip, I was gonna take my Armada, but my
Oh,
red
Ah.
truck's pretty beat up, and that would have been terrible because my Armada's still in really good, nice condition. I mean, it's my wife's
you're gonna
daily,
get destroyed.
I would have been hating on Nick.
Those poor
So, but
full-size trucks that were with us, they were
oh
getting beat up.
man, there's a brand new Dodge Tremor, like a fresh, almost not fresh off the lot, but I mean it couldn't have been much more than a year old if that.
Yeah.
And yeah, his truck got really beat. It was pretty rough to watch.
Yeah, the was it Sergio, the Ford trimmer, the F250 trimmer.
Yeah, that's the one.
Ooh, he made it through the whole trail.
Yeah,
but
he made it.
Poor
He
exhaust
didn't seem too upset, but whew. So any problems with the truck on your adventures? I mean, has it been just killing it? I mean, I saw you doing some stuff with the evap canister. I think
Yeah.
all three of us have probably yanked our evap canister in the last 3 weeks.
Absolutely.
Because I saw Dave under his truck just the
own
other day.
Nissan Frontier or Xterra and you go off-roading in the desert, you're gonna have evap issues.
That is true. And you know what? This is the first time I've pulled it off, and I've been dealing with like trying to fill up my gas tank with a thing clicking like nonstop all the time for however many years. And I'm like, you know what? I'm finally gonna go do it. I don't know why I've been putting it off for so long, but I must have dumped probably like a full cup worth of dirt.
Oh, I
out of
believe it.
all the lines. There was so much dirt in it. I was like, why didn't I do this before? Because it's simple. Like I know it's simple. I know it's back there. I just was like, I'll do it another time, you know.
Right,
But,
right.
But yeah, that and my front shock. My truck's on blocks right now actually because I pulled my front shocks and they're so destroyed from the last 6 years of long trails
Oh,
and stuff
time
like
for an
that.
upgrade.
Couldn't even rebuild them. So I'm talking to Niztec right now. We're getting some new shocks coming out to me. So yeah.
Nice. I should definitely talk to them when I get to that Panama Highway.
Yeah, for
I'm gonna
sure, for sure.
I'm gonna have to build out a Frontier.
Yeah, do it. I'll sell you mine. No, you don't have to. It's been beat up too much already. She needs to be road driven for the rest
I
of
want
her
one
life.
that's not gonna break down on me maybe middle of Argentina.
Yeah, definitely don't take mine. It's a I already used up 3/4 of its life in the first 100. So
Yeah. So on that, like the other things, only other issues we've had with the Xterra, I had a crank shaft sensor that I replaced.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty common. Yep.
Yeah, and then I replaced the clutch at 180,000 miles, and that was the first time it's been replaced.
Yeah, that's really good. They're pretty known for having clutches that'll last at least 100,000. So that's and I'm sure with a trailer it probably helped move that along, but still that's pretty awesome. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a noticeable change when I got the new.
You're like, dang, this why does it take off so quick? It's not slipping onto
Yeah,
the place.
pretty much. I was like, oh wait.
It's grabbing when I let it out. This is weird. Nice. Joe Japan's here. Let's see here. Don't think we had a question. We got a little bit less listeners tonight because we went dark on the show here for the last like month or two. One, because I was out on adventures and doing stuff, and two, because Dave has stepped back from the show to do All Terrain Nation. If you haven't, for those of you listening, if you haven't subscribed to All Terrain Nation, go over there and click the subscribe on that, as well as DeGrudex while you're searching
thank
for
you, Dan.
names.
Thank you for that nice plug.
That didn't sound related at all.
I had to at least give him a shout out since he's doing all the production right now.
No, what it is, Dan wants paid, and Dave controls the money right now.
Yeah, just Dave, why you gotta air our dirty laundry like that? No, but it's you know what? It's super cool that you guys are on this freaking adventure. Not a lot of people. Well, I mean, there's probably 0.0001% of people go on such a kind of like a divergence from the cookie cutter lifestyle to do something that you guys are doing. And I see you guys obviously are just creating like mountains of memories and pictures that you're just gonna for years just look at it like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we did that. So
No, absolutely. We're on the trip and we go back and look at pictures from 6 months ago. We're just like,
sure.
wait, what?
Yeah. As a person with 3 kids, I have those fantasies of maybe when the kids leave, we'll just go roam the states or whatever. But it's not as feasible these days with the children running around. We are taking a trip up to up the coast. We're gonna go up to Bend and Tahoe and all that stuff. So we're gonna be doing some camping this year. But yeah, it's a pretty awesome thing you guys are doing. I follow very closely on your Instagram, on all your stories and your posts and stuff like that. I just love seeing like the the cool adventures you guys are doing. Please tell me you're gonna make the hats. Are you gonna do the hats?
Yeah, I actually
Yes.
ordered them already.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
gonna be purchasing one as soon as they pop out. I love the hat. I
Awesome.
saw that that story you did on Instagram, and I'm like, sweet, I love that hat.
I'll
So,
I'll purchase one too, Dan. I'll purchase one too.
Oh, you guys are the best.
you got to be, well, I don't know, Dave. You got to be on a select list. That's a very
Well, that was the Nissan Nation production. So
sorry, man. I'm in control now. Mike Mickey said by the time they get grown, you'll be too old. I know that's true. I'm getting old.
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
I mean, you might need like a electronic chair to get you up into
yeah. I'll still be acting like a teenager. I just won't be moving like one.
There you go.
Exactly.
But while we were in Arizona, I found out my dad was down in Arizona. Like they were out hiking all over. My dad and my mom were all hiking all over the place down there. They took a trip. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. They still go on their motorcycle trips. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do.
Awesome.
Never stop trying, But anyways, thanks guys so much for coming on. I appreciate you hanging out with us and sharing a little bit about your adventure and kind of what you've done, where you're going, and I'm excited to see where else this wild adventure goes.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it, and hopefully we keep it going until we end up in Patagonia.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're gonna be out in Kamchatka or something like that. Who knows?
Jeez, like
yeah, no, I
let's ship Yogi. I
we'll ship him over to what would it be, probably like Israel or Middle East.
I think you should drive over up in from Alaska. Can you still drive over? I don't think you can.
The bridge.
I think in the middle of winter when it's like negative 50.
Should be fun. Yeah, should be fun.
They'll drop a bomb on you.
Yeah, and then also Russia in that area isn't exactly the nicest area to be in.
I don't think they would let us through.
I've seen some videos. It seems a little rough. It seems like it's a little 19th century kind of. Anyways, prolong this goodbye forever.
All right.
Awesome. Any companies that you got that sponsor you guys you want to give shout out, or any stuff that you want to shout out before you head out?
Well, Mid-Atlantic Off-Roading, we have their 4-way tire inflator deflator kit. They've been it's a really great company, really great customer service, and we love our tire deflator. We have 6 tires now to deflate and inflate.
Yeah, with the trailer. Huh? Yeah.
I write for an online magazine, Northology Adventures. So if you want to read more about our adventures in real time, I guess, subscribe to their online magazine, northologyadventures.com. It's free to subscribe. Cool. And our skid plates, Asper Off-Road.
Cool.
I don't know. Yeah. They're a full underbody aluminum skid plate, so it covers everything under there.
Yeah, they're a great company. They do the skid plates for the military in Israel.
Yeah.
Yep. And so amazing product, very well priced, great company. So that was. Cool. Yeah, I think those are the only ones. Yeah.
Sorry, we're not gonna audit. We're not gonna audit your shout outs. I promise. There's only 14 people watching, so don't get
nice. Yeah, and then Onyx Off Road, check them out.
Yeah, Onyx Off Road is awesome. I've used that a couple times.
They're stepping the game up, and
they're
coming together nice.
I used Onyx for hunting for a while there, and then when they came out with their off road stuff, I was like, wow, this is really cool. It's very handy, very handy. Well, cool guys. I appreciate you coming on. Stoked to see what you guys got coming in the future.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
us.
Sweet.
Peace.
There you have it, guys. Enoch and Demo from moleisurexventures. I like the Demo name. I have to put it together every time I say it. That's about it. That's all I got planned for the show tonight, guys. I I know Dave probably wants to talk to you for hours and hours about sales figures from Nissan, but guess who's in charge now? um, I'm not going to go in too much tonight, other than that chat with them. I'm stoked that you guys all tuned in to listen to them and tell their story. This is some of the stuff that I want to bring to you guys in the future. Some of these, like, these are the kind of people that I have met around campfires, and there's so many other people out there. I call them like the most exciting or the most interesting men and women in the world. People that like, and I usually meet them around campfires. I met a dude in Israel that was a ex French Foreign Legion who had stories, or not. I didn't meet him in Israel. He was an Israeli guy. I was in the French Foreign Legion or something like that. I don't remember exactly. This is a while ago, but I'm just saying he just had all these like crazy war stories. He would get drunk and he starts singing in another language and stuff. There's this Marine guy that lived in a tent in 29 Palms, and then he lived in a sailboat in San Francisco, and he had stories that just went on for days. Stuff that you hear around a campfire, and you're like, man, this guy, you could talk to him for a week and not get half of the info out of him. So I'm stoked that I got to bring you guys some very interesting and awesome people doing really awesome things. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Again, smash the like, and we'll keep this Nissan stuff going. Obviously, they drive a Nissan, so it matters. So it's real for this channel. But I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. That's going to be all for it tonight. Let me double check, make sure that there's nothing pressing on the comments channel or on the comments section here. It looks like you guys were just sitting by watching lightly tonight. We'll get into some more Nissan stuff. The Frontier obviously has some very important stuff that's coming out, and we'll have some chat about that in the near future. And we'll talk about that. And I'm sure you guys will have stuff to weigh in about that. But other than that, thanks for watching, guys. This is the Nissan. This is I never do that. I never do the outro now. I usually just say peace out. This is the Nissan Nation Productions. And what are we, Danny? Out. Dave, help me out here.